everybody got their own opinion, so I'm gonna let him.
People that teach grab the back of the shoulder pads and then wear your feet.
Nobody's teaching that.
What?
Teaching grab the back of the pads.
What? Michigan?
Like, I love all the quarterbacks in our room. Like, we got such a young team, and they develop so much throughout the year. They look like totally different players than when they first started out, and they changed night and day. They drafted me here. You know, the impact that I've had on the team since I first got here, you know, back, you know, focused, ready to take on a challenge.
Well, it finally happened. The Browns have agreed on contract terms with rookie running back Quinshon Judkins. Judkins will sign his rookie deal, 4 years.
What was the meeting like in New York with the NFL, and do you have any worries about being suspended going forward?
No, I can't control that. I think, you know, what I can do is just go out on the field and just be able to help my teammates and, you know, prepare each and every day for it.
Why do you feel like you have to re-earn the trust of people because of the arrest, because of the legal process, the legal issues you had to go through?
No, you know, my teammates, my coaches, everybody here, they know who I am. They drafted me here. You know, the impact that I've had on the team since I first got here, you know, back, you know, focused, ready to take on a challenge.
Well, it finally happened. The Browns have agreed on contract terms with rookie running back Quinshon Judkins. Judkins will sign his rookie deal, 4 years, worth $11.4 million with a $5 million signing bonus. Now, I haven't seen any specifics on the contract, like the language and the terms and things like that. We're still not 100% sure what all the last minute haggling was over, probably the fully guaranteed, but it sounds like that did not happen. So Judkins gets a more standard rookie deal for the second round pick. Now, he will not play in the week 1 game tomorrow against the Bengals. That makes total sense. I saw that the team will receive a 2-week roster exemption for Quinshon Judkins with the signing coming this late into the process. So he will, quote, be on the field when he is ready. But this means that Quinshon Judkins will get on the field, on the practice field next week with an opportunity. I'm not saying it'll happen, but with an opportunity to take the field for his first ever NFL game in week 2 against the Ravens. If not, we're looking at week 3 at home against the Packers. But Quinshon Judkins, finally, after all the turmoil, his legal situation has been completely cleared, dismissed, no evidence. He's good there. The only thing left remaining is whether or not the NFL will suspend him. Now, you guys know we think there's no way they should be able to suspend him whatsoever, but this is the NFL. He probably will get suspended, especially since it's the Browns, and they love screwing us over.
When a Cleveland Browns running back sits down for a candid interview and drops the kind of real talk that the entire NFL fan base needed to hear, you stop everything and you listen. Quinshon Judkins, the young, hungry, dangerous weapon in Cleveland's backfield, just broke his silence. And what he said about Todd Monken, about Shedeur Sanders, about this Browns team's future, man, I'm telling you right now, this is not what people expected. If you're a Browns fan, if you're a Shedeur Sanders supporter, if you've been waiting for Cleveland to finally become real, stay locked in, because what I'm about to break down from this interview changes the entire conversation. And before we go any further, if you're new here, hit that subscribe button right now, because we cover the stories that actually matter. Let's get into it.
Couple different coaches over the past couple years. Have you heard from your new head coach, Todd Monken, yet?
Bro, I have. And, bro, honestly, like, it's not what I thought it would have been. Like,
well,
when I say that in a good way,
what did you think it was going to be?
You thought he was going to be like
I thought
nerdy?
he was going to be like more so like, because my past coach, bro, he was like really even keel, bro, like super quiet. I thought I was going to get that from Coach Monken, but it wasn't that. Like, he was like a real players coach, bro. Like, you know, like, give me a hug, like all that, bro. So he was just super communicative of what he wanted from the team, what his goal is, what his objective is, what he want to come in.
Let's start with the moment that honestly caught me off guard when I heard it. Quinshon Judkins admitted something real. He said when he first heard Todd Monken was coming in as head coach of the Cleveland Browns, he expected a quiet guy, reserved, buttoned up, the kind of coach who keeps distance between himself and the players. And you know what? That's a fair assumption. A lot of NFL head coaches operate like that. They're businesslike, professional, cold almost. But Monken walked in and hugged his players. Judkins literally said the man came in giving hugs, being communicative, being real with the team about his vision, his goals, his expectations. Not in a fake, let's have a team meeting way, but in a genuine, this is what we're building, this is where we're going, and I believe in you kind of way. Now think about why that matters for a second. The Cleveland Browns have been starving for that kind of leadership. They've had dysfunction, they've had drama, they've had the Deshaun Watson situation linger like a dark cloud over everything. And here comes Todd Monken, offensive genius, former offensive coordinator of the Baltimore Ravens, and the first thing he does is make his players feel seen. That's not small. That is everything in a locker room. Judkins said Monken knows exactly what he wants. He has a vision. And as a player, especially a young player still finding his footing in the NFL, there is nothing more powerful than a head coach who walks in the building and makes you believe. The Browns aren't building around hope anymore. They're building around a plan. Now here's where it gets spicy. Monken came in and publicly said the quarterback position is an open competition. No anointed starter, no handout. You earn your spot on the grass. And when Judkins was asked about it, he kept it 100. He said, look, I don't know exactly what Monken means. Nobody does. But what he does know is this. You earn respect on the grass. That's it. That's the rule.
He was just super communicative of what he wanted from the team, what his goal is, what his objective is, what he want to come in and do. And, you know, he knows exactly what he wants and he has a vision. And I think that's what's important as a head coach and especially being vocal about it too. I think that's what matters.
I respect the Seahawks head coach when they put that video out last week for their last game, and he was like, it was back in before the season. He was talking about what the team was going to do and everything like that. So I respect what you're talking about. Yeah, bro.
And here's what I think Judkins was really saying between the lines. He's not worried about it because he's seen both of those young quarterbacks up close. He's practiced with them. He's watched them grow. And he said something that a lot of people are sleeping on. These quarterbacks look like completely different players than when they first started. Night and day. The growth is real. That's a teammate telling you, without saying it directly, that Cleveland's young QBs are ready, or at least they're becoming ready. And then he dropped to the Deshaun Watson piece. He said he still sees Watson at the facility, still sees him working, still sees him putting in the time. So you've got 3 quarterbacks fighting for their NFL lives in Cleveland, and you've got a new head coach who isn't handing anything to anybody. That is must-watch football. That training camp, that competition, that is going to be one of the most talked-about stories of the entire 2026 NFL offseason. Mark my words. Okay, now this part of the interview hit different because Shedeur Sanders has been one of the most criticized, most doubted, most talked about players in recent NFL history. People have come at him from every angle. His dad, his swagger, his throws, his attitude, his Pro Bowl selection, everything. And Quinshon Judkins, his own teammate, looked into that camera and said, I was happy for him, bro. That's real. That's not PR talk. That's a teammate who watched Shedeur Sanders go through the grind, the ups, the downs, the losses, the criticism, and saw him come out the other side with a Pro Bowl nomination and felt genuine happiness for him. Judkins defended Shedeur's swagger too. He said, look, people see that confidence and they call it cocky, but to produce at the level Shedeur produces, you have to have that belief. You have to have that fire in you, that self-determination, that I know who I am and nobody can take that from me energy. And then Judkins said something that made me stop the video and rewind it. He said, look at who his father is. Deion Sanders, the greatest cornerback of all time, a man who played in the Super Bowl and the World Series, a man who defined swagger, a man who talked his talk and backed it up every single time. So when you see Shedeur Sanders carry himself with that same energy, that's not arrogance, that's legacy, that's bloodline. That's a young man who was literally raised by one of the greatest athletes in American sports history.
Quinshon Judkins speak out to the media about how the impact of Shedeur Sanders being able to stretch the football downfield helps him as far as defenses not loading the box all the time, loading up 8, 7, 8 players in the box. I'm gonna play this video clip and let you guys hear it. Hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. Peace.
What has Shedeur shown you in these 3 starts that he's had?
I think he's grown a lot, especially so fast in a short amount of time. He's shown leadership. He's done a lot of great things with what he's been given, and I'm excited to see him go out there and continue to grow.
Some of the looks downfield that he's making and connecting with guys on, I mean, do you think that could potentially keep going well, like open some things up, like you're not seeing those later?
Definitely. I'll say definitely. That definitely helps for sure.
How does the screen game kind of help there too? I mean, you obviously had a big reception. It seemed like you guys kind of tried to go back to the screen a couple times. So how does that help?
I think it helps a lot just my coaches being able to, help me get in space, and when those boxes are packed, me still being able to do what I can and produce at a high level anywhere on the field. So I think it helps.
Might be the deciding factor.
The words.
Oh man, definitely frustrating, but it's things that you learn from as a team. You go back to the drawing board and see how you can be better.
Harold, he made a great play earlier in the game. Do you try to encourage him or uplift him after that fumbled snap, or do you say
Harold's a great player, tremendous player. He does a lot of great things throughout the game, and he's consistent. So, he has a next play mentality.
Were you guys trying to quick snap on that 4th down play?
The one to Harold?
Yeah, that he fumbled.
Yeah, that was a quick snap play.
How much are you starting to really relish when they call that wildcat formation and you get the ball immediately in your hands to sort of make a play like they did in 2 points?
Yeah, so I didn't know that we was going to go for 2 on that particular one, but once they dialed it up, I seen it down in distance. I'm going to go get it.
Any doubt that you were in?
Nah, no doubt.
Coach Stefanski said Shedeur will start against the tight ends. Just what's your reaction to getting another start for you?
I don't have a reaction. Like I said, the whole team, we all believe in Shedeur. Coach Stefanski, he's making a great choice at whatever decision he makes, so I support it.
We've seen how Shedeur handled the good when you guys last week with the Raiders, but how did he handle leadership-wise the bad in this one? What did you kind of see from him from a leadership role?
I think he's very poised, a great quarterback, great leader. He handles all his situations the right way, continuing to show the guys around him his leadership, not only by his words, but by his actions. So I'm proud of him and how he handles everything.
Is his energy, as infectious as it seems, to us, Shedeur, just in terms of the impact he has on you guys as a whole unit on offense?
Yeah, I think it's a lot of guys like that, just because of, different personalities all throughout our offense. Each guy brings a different energy, and you just embrace it. My opinion, I don't know, bro.
Yeah, facts.
That's hard. Even if I had an opinion on it, you never really know at the end of the day, because everybody looks at each player a different way.
Yeah.
I love all the quarterbacks in our room. We got such a young team, and they develop so much throughout the year. They look like totally different players than when they first started out, and they changed night and day in the way they've grown. But I mean, when he said that, me personally, I didn't think nothing of it. I think that's what any coach would come in and say, you earn your respect on the grass. So
And Judkins said when Shedeur was at Colorado with Deion, he thought it was lit. He thought the whole thing was electric, and he wants them to keep that going. That is a teammate vouching for his quarterback, publicly, loudly, with heart. Here's the part of this interview that I think got slept on the most. Someone asked Judkins, straight up, what are the Browns going to do next year? And he paused, he took a sip of water, and then he said something that I think every single Cleveland fan needed to hear. He said, our ceiling is so high, bro. Not we'll see, not hopefully we improve, not the typical NFL player politically correct answer. He said the ceiling is high, and he backed it up with reasons. The vets in the locker room last season taught the young guys how to do things the right way. The leadership is there. Todd Monken is a smart coach. Judkins literally said he's watched what Monken did with the Ravens offense and called him really smart. Says he puts players in the right position. And here's the thing that made me feel this one deep. Judkins said because they already played a full year together, they're more gelled, more locked in, more connected as a unit. Year 2 of any young team is when things click, when the communication becomes second nature, when the trust is built. when the playbook stops being something you study and starts being something you feel. The Browns went through the fire in 2025, and now they come back with experience, with a new coach who believes in them, with a young quarterback who just made the Pro Bowl, and with weapons like Quinshon Judkins, who is hungry. Cleveland, this might actually be your year. Look, I've covered the Browns through the heartbreak, through the drama, through every false dawn and every broken promise, but something feels different now. When a player like Quinshon Judkins, a guy who came from Ole Miss, went through Ohio State, grinded through his rookie NFL year, got welcomed to the league with a hit he didn't even earn, sits down and speaks with this much belief in his team, you listen. Todd Monken is giving hugs and bringing vision. Shedeur Sanders is carrying legacy and backing it up with production. Quinshon Judkins is locked in and ready. The Cleveland Browns in 2026 are not a punchline anymore. They are a problem. Drop a fire in the comments if you think the Browns are for real this year. And if you're sleeping on Cleveland, wake up, because they're coming. If you haven't subscribed yet, what are you doing? Hit that button. We break down every interview, every story, every moment that matters in the NFL. And we're just getting started. See you in the next one.